Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a marketing strategy called SDM. And if you're a real estate professional, you're gonna wanna lean in for this. It's all about making a huge shift, moving away from just closing deals and towards building a real, lasting legacy business. So, what problem is this whole thing trying to solve?
Well, if you're in real estate, you know the feeling, right? How do you stay on your client's radar without always feeling like you're trying to sell them something? It's a massive challenge in a business that's supposed to be built on relationships. Okay, think about the classic closing gift. You give a nice bottle of wine, a fruit basket, and yeah, people appreciate it for a moment. But what happens after the wine is drunk and the fruit is gone? Poof! The gift disappears, and so does the memory of your brand. And this is where this new strategy, which is all about a book gifting platform, really shows its power. I mean, look at this. A traditional gift might last a few days. A book, it's basically forever. A bottle of wine gets tucked away in a cupboard, but a book sits out on a shelf, on a tablet, always visible. But honestly, the most important difference here is reciprocity. The conversation completely changes from a quick, hey, thanks for the wine, to something really personal like, thank you so much for helping my kid learn to read. You just can't buy that kind of connection.
And that connection, well, that's the heart of this entire philosophy. This is not just about changing your closing gift. No. This is about rethinking your entire business strategy, right from the very foundation. So here's the goal. It's a total shift in focus. You stop thinking about just the one transaction, and you start nurturing a relationship that lasts for years. And you do that by swapping out those fancy gifts that just disappear for something that builds a permanent legacy. Something that actually stays in the home and becomes a part of that family's everyday life. You know, when you do this, you create this incredibly powerful new identity for yourself. You're not just the agent who shuffled the paperwork. You actually become a legacy builder, a trusted partner who added something genuinely meaningful to that home. Okay, so how does this actually work? What do you do? Well, the whole strategy is built on 4 really clear pillars of engagement, and they all work together to support each other. It all starts with waking up your old database. Then you use a really clever strategy for your open houses. After that, you build out your network with other pros. And finally, and this is the big one, you create this powerful bridge with local nonprofits. Let's dig into each one. All right, pillar 1. Every single realtor knows that awkward, cringy feeling of trying to call a cold lead without sounding, well, salesy. This strategy completely solves that problem because you're not calling as a salesperson anymore. You're reaching out as a community advocate. And the message itself is just brilliant. It's so simple and genuine. There's nothing transactional about it. By leading with a gift that's tied to a community mission, you suddenly make re-engaging your entire database not just easy, but actually really effective and feel good. Now, let's talk open houses. Instead of just putting up a sign and hoping for the best, you use an ebook as a hook. You can offer a free digital story to the first 20 families who stop by. Not only does this drive more traffic, but it gives you the absolute perfect, non-pushy reason to follow up a few days later and just ask, hey, how did your kids like the book? That's how you make your brand stick. Pillar 3 is all about expanding your influence beyond your clients. You can invite other local professionals, think mortgage brokers, home inspectors, you name it, to join in on this gifting platform. When you do that, you position yourself as a resourceful community leader who brings value to everybody, not just someone chasing a commission. And pillar 4, this might just be the most powerful piece of the whole puzzle. This is how you really truly anchor your brand in the community. You find a local school, a PTA, or some other youth organization, and you partner with them to support their mission. In this case, literacy. This creates this incredible win-win situation. The organization gets a cut of the proceeds to fund what they do, and in return, they promote you as their official community partner. I mean, that kind of high-trust visibility, a for sale sign can never, ever buy that. Okay, so let's get into the playbook itself. What are the actual tools you're using to make these 4 pillars happen? It really just comes down to 2 key products. First up, you've got the digital entry. That's the ebook. Think of this as your fast, super smooth tool. It's affordable, it's instant, and it's absolutely perfect for warming up a cold database or just as a quick thank you to someone who visited an open house. It gets your brand into a client's digital life right away with 0 friction. And then second, you have the physical inker, the branded paperback book. This is your true legacy piece. This is for your high-value clients at closing or is a really meaningful gift to your community partners. Unlike the ebook, this is a permanent physical reminder of your value that actually lives in the home.
So when you put all this together, what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's just imagine for a second what this could do for, say, a 10-person real estate team. First off, you're looking at 250 targeted, really high-value touches into their database. And these aren't cold calls, right? These are warm, mission-first gifts that spark real conversations and rekindle old relationships. That very same team also creates 250 new connections with their peers. Think about that. That dramatically expands the entire brokerage's professional network and their influence all across the local market. And here's the community impact. That team establishes 10 different nonprofit partnerships, building these deep, authentic roots as community anchors in the very neighborhoods they're trying to serve. The big takeaway here is really a shift in your mindset. You stop spending money on gifts that are just going to disappear, and you start investing in what we can call relational infrastructure. It's a network of goodwill, a foundation that's going to pay you back for years and years to come. Let's just end on this thought right here. When a family is reading a book that you gave them night after night, you've done something pretty remarkable. You are no longer just the agent who sold them a house. You've actually become a positive, consistent part of that family's daily life. And really, what could possibly be a more powerful legacy than that?